Gave away my computer parts for free. Karen calls the cops on me. First off, this story happened to me about a week ago. I was upgrading my PC and everything run perfectly. I changed the motherboard and the CPU for those who are asking to a high-end one. After I sorted out the old parts, I thought it would be nice to give those parts to someone who couldn't afford them, about €560 for the old CPU and motherboard. I made an ad on Facebook and set the price to €0. Of course, I got a lot of responses, and most of them are just, "Could you deliver today?" And, "Why are you giving away parts?" After about an hour of reading the responses, I found someone that I thought would enjoy the parts. I chatted a bit and drove 20 kilometers, 12.5 miles, to their home and delivered the parts and had the following conversation. Me: "Hi, this is OP. I'm here because of the parts that I didn't need anymore." EP: "Hi, OP, I'll be down in 10 minutes with EK." Me, in my head: "What the actual F?" I waited a bit and rang the bell again. Me: "Hi, EP. Are you ready to pick up the parts on your front door?" EP, screaming: "Yes, I'll be down in a minute." Me, in my head: "I guess this wasn't a good choice, but whatever." 2 minutes later, the EP and the EK showed up at their front door. EK: "Hello, OP. Sorry that you had to wait that long, but I was playing a video game and I wasn't finished yet." Me: "No worries. Here are your parts." EP: "Thanks, OP, but why did you even give us these parts in the first place? Are they stolen?" Me: "Of course not. I was upgrading my PC, and these are the old parts." EP: "Oh, I see. But why did you give us the old parts?" Me: "Because the new parts are worth about €1,000 retail, and I don't have the money to give away such high-priced items." EP: "Oh, but EK would enjoy the other parts much more." Me: "Oh, of course, EP, I'll get them for you." In a sarcastic voice: "Just hand me over my old parts and I'll be back soon." EP: "Yeah, that's the attitude I was hoping for, like, WTF, lady." The EP hands over my parts and I leave, and had decided that I would never ever sell parts for free again. Bonus: EP tried to sue me and called the police on me because I stole my parts back from them, and the conversation was kind of funny. Doorbell rings. Police 1. "This is the local PD. Is OP home?" Me: "Yes, of course, I'll be up. Basement, in a minute." Police 1. "Hello, I'm Police Officer 1. Are you OP?" Me: "Yes, Police 1. We got a complaint that you stole from EP. Is that true?" Me: "Nope." Repeated the story as written before. Police 1. "Oh, I see. Do you have any receipts for these parts?" Me: "Of course I do." Me searching for the receipts and showing them to the police. Police 1. "Oh, thank you very much. Would you like us to write a complaint in your behalf?" Me: "That would be perfect." Then there was some paperwork to fill out, and the EP got a ticket for abusing the local police. Story 2. We like the BMW better. This happened at the worst time of our lives. Our 20-yo son had died. This story is what happened the day we came home from the funeral. We are flying home after our son's funeral, and my husband's sisters, Millie and Mary, accompany us, and are coming to a memorial service the next day. On the flight, one of the sisters, don't remember which, tells my husband that they don't have a rental car reserved. My husband says, "Sorry, can't help you. We're getting picked up by our neighbor." He tells them they can use his corporate discount at XYZ Car Rental and get a great deal. Problem solved? Not a chance. After we land, we are waiting for all the luggage. We had 2 bags for the 4 of us, and they had 8 for 3 people. Obviously, we had our luggage long before they even had half of their luggage. Our ride shows up and we tell Millie, Mari, and nephew to call us when that gets settled at the hotel. We made reservations for them near our home, and closed the church where the service will be held. Note, they didn't want to stay at our house because we didn't have a pool, and they were treating this as a mini vacay. Hours go by, and we haven't heard from anyone. We call, we text, we call Mom, but nothing but radio silence from the terrible trio. 4 hours later, they finally call my husband. We find out they are not in the hotel we arranged. Extended stay place with in-room kitchens and an outdoor pool. It was July. They are at a freaking 5-star hotel, about 45 minutes away. When my husband asks what happened, Millie tells him, the lines were too long at the car rentals, but the limo rentals had no one in line. So we took a limo, and the limo driver was so nice. He told us he could take us to a better hotel, one with an indoor pool and room service. So that's where they went. Stuck at a really nice hotel, still with no car. I suggest to my husband, after he calmed down, that his sisters could just use my car. We wouldn't really need it for the next few days. My husband calls his sister back and tells her that I will allow them to use my car, as long as no one smokes in it. This is a hard rule with me. And they agree. We drive to the hotel, and my husband, who is still fuming, says, "Just drop the keys at the desk for them and we are out of here." So I walk in with my car keys, go to the front desk, and tell them that I'm just dropping off keys for Millie and Mary, and could I use an envelope? As I'm writing down where the car is parked, Millie and Mary walk up to the front desk. So I just hand over my keys, tell them where the car is, and turn to leave. The girls follow me out to the parking lot, said they wanted to say hi to my husband, and ask if we wanted to go out on the town tonight and do it up right, who was parked next to my car, small four-door sedan, in his new BMW. When they looked at the keys and saw they weren't to the BMW, they lost their fudge. Millie starts, "We need the bigger car, we have more stuff." Mari complains that the sedan would be too small for nephew, big boy, and she would feel better in the Beamer. My husband barely makes eye contact with anyone, tells me to get in the car, we've got arrangements to make, and off we go. The girls call Mom, of course, and complain to anyone who would listen, but they didn't get to drive the Beamer. Oh yeah, they were 45 minutes late to the memorial, dressed in tank tops, cut-off shorts, and flip-flops. And the kicker, Millie and nephew are smoking as they get out of my car. I have many more stories about this time in our life. Let me know if you're interested. Story 3, Lady Needs a Discount. Got my first proper CB at work today. We've had a couple people get cranky at us about prices before, but this lady was the first person to display the level of sheer bullheadedness that I feel really defines a CB. She came in around 13 o'clock, slowly lumbering through the bakery, picking up and squinting at every product she could get her acrylics on. Her sights finally set upon our decorated cookies. She asked how much they were, and I told her. $4. The look on her face as she heard that price told me all I needed to know. This was about to be trouble. $4? She balked. That's ridiculous. I gave her the canned response we have about the fact that our ingredients are expensive because they're specialty. So it is what it is. She scoffed and rolled her eyes at me, and I just mentally thanked my insomnia for having kept me up late enough last night that I was too exhausted to feel the sort of rage that shit would usually have set off. She scoured through the cookie display, digging about in scornful silence, before suddenly her eyes lit up, and she seized a single cookie from the back of the display, strutting up to the counter triumphantly and smacking it down before me. "This cookie is broken," she proclaimed. And she was right. There was a big crack running right through the middle of it. Not a big deal, it happens sometimes. "Oh, sorry about that," I said, not actually sorry. "I can get you another one." "No!" she barked, cutting me off. "I want this one," she said, pointing at the broken cookie the way one would point to something they were trying to show a toddler. "Okay then," I replied. And by this point, I had a sneaking suspicion that I already knew exactly where this was going, but I pressed on anyways, as there was nothing else to be done. "That'll be $4. She stared at me for a moment, her eyes narrowing before she pointed to the cookie again. "I said, I want this one," she repeated, even slower this time, really laying on thick the fact that she clearly thought I was some degree of stupid. "Yes, I know," I said, because what the hell else was I going to say? "But this one is broken," she stressed, raising an eyebrow at me. "As I said, I can get you another one if you want. One that isn't broken," I replied, a bit of anger finally starting to break through the dull haze that exhaustion had put me under. "And I said I wanted this one," she said, clearly getting frustrated. "That makes two of us, bitch." "All right, that'll be $4. You can put your card—" She fucking cut me off again. "I'm not paying $4 for a broken cookie," she snapped. "Okay, then I'll get you a different one," I droned. I knew damn well what she was getting at, but I wasn't about to make it easy on her. "Yo," she yelled, kinda getting up in my face at this point. "I want this cookie." She jabbed it so hard she would have made another crack if one hadn't been there already. "Okay," I said flatly. "I can take your card whenever you're ready." "How much are you taking off?" she demanded. By this point, I'd had more than enough of her, and since playing dumb was really the only weapon I had at my disposal that wouldn't have gotten me fired, I decided to continue using it. "I'm sorry?" I asked, pretending to be confused. "Oh, for—" She cut herself off that time, huffing. "The cookie. How much are you taking off on the cookie?" "I haven't taken anything off," I answered. "It's $4. But it's broken." She stressed for what felt like the 768th goddamn time. "Can't I get some sort of discount?" "Unfortunately, no." I replied, very much not meaning that first word. If it being broken is an issue, then we could get you an unbroken one, but I know you've said you want this one. Is there someone else I could talk to? She asked, her tone suddenly dripping with the faux politeness of a Karen about to try some shit. A manager, perhaps? She stressed the word, raising an eyebrow at me as she did. The attempt at a threat was so gallingly obvious that I just about gave myself an aneurysm trying not to roll my eyes. My manager isn't in today, sorry, I responded, making sure to use that same sickly sweet tone that she'd tried on me. She dropped the act quickly, her fake smile melting into a snarl as she realized her trump card had no effect. I'm not paying $4 for a cookie, she screeched. She didn't actually stomp her foot like a toddler, but the energy was very much the same. Okay, I said flatly, then very pointedly didn't say anything else, even as she stared at me, clearly still somehow hoping for a different answer. We stood there for several more seconds. She glared at me. I stared blankly over her shoulder at the bakery behind with a perhaps a bit over-the-top expression of utter indifference on my face. Finally, she seemed to realize I genuinely wasn't gonna budge, and with one last, she rolled her eyes, tossed up her hands, and stormed out. I put the broken cookie back on the toss tray where it was quickly snagged by one of our decorators. Suck it, Karen.